Portugal. Portugal is a country full of surprises, far beyond its iconic Cristiano Ronaldo, enchanting castles, and sun-kissed beaches. It's a place where history whispers through cobblestone streets, and traditions blend seamlessly with modern life. But beneath its charm lie intriguing rules and customs that make Portugal truly one of a kind. Have you ever wondered about the unexpected laws that govern daily life here, or the unique practices that locals hold dear? In this story, we'll uncover 16 fascinating quirks, from historical oddities to cultural treasures, that give Portugal its unmistakable character. Whether you're a curious traveler or simply love unraveling the layers of a country's culture, you're in for a treat. Dive in. Share your thoughts in the comments, hit the like button, and subscribe for more adventures that take you deeper into the heart of the world's most captivating destinations. Number 16. No urinating at the beach. Portugal's beaches are celebrated as some of the most picturesque in the world, but did you know that urinating on the sand is officially against the law? This regulation, enforced since 2018, carries a fine of up to EUR 100 for offenders. The goal of this law is to protect the pristine marine environment and ensure an enjoyable experience for tourists. Urine contains bacteria and nutrients that can disrupt the delicate balance of marine ecosystems, prompting the Portuguese government to take action. The law highlights Portugal's commitment to environmental sustainability and preserving its coastal beauty. Even seemingly harmless actions like urinating can harm water quality, impacting marine plants and animals. By maintaining the cleanliness of its beaches, Portugal seeks to uphold its reputation as a world-class travel destination. Many people question how authorities can enforce this rule, as it seems challenging to monitor such behavior effectively. However, the purpose is not only enforcement, but also to set a standard for cleanliness and encourage eco-friendly habits. To assist visitors, public restrooms have been strategically installed along numerous popular beaches, ensuring convenience for everyone. Additionally, educational campaigns aim to raise awareness about respecting the environment. Beach cleanup initiatives have also become common, allowing communities to actively participate in preserving these natural spaces. How does this law compare to beach regulations in other countries? Have you experienced similar policies during your travels? Share your opinions in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Number 15. No toilet paper in public restrooms. If you're new to Portugal, one of the first things that may surprise you is the almost complete absence of toilet paper in public restrooms. Instead, you will often find a bidet or a water spray installed next to the toilet. While this might feel unusual for some travelers, using a bidet offers numerous health and hygiene benefits compared to toilet paper. Water cleans more effectively, reducing the risk of skin irritation and infections in intimate areas. But have you ever wondered why the bidet remains so popular in Portugal, even as many other countries opt for toilet paper? This preference stems from Portugal's long-standing traditions and a deep cultural commitment to personal hygiene. Moreover, using bidets is environmentally friendly. Less toilet paper means less waste and reduced environmental impact. This aligns with Portugal's growing environmental consciousness and their dedication to reducing waste. While bidets are still widely preferred, toilet paper is becoming more common in major cities and tourist hotspots, especially as more tourists bring their own preferences. The shift towards more availability of toilet paper is a sign of the growing influence of global tourism on local customs, but bidets still play an important role in Portuguese bathrooms. Would you feel comfortable switching to a bidet, or do you prefer the comfort of toilet paper? Number 14, no naked while driving. This regulation might catch you off guard. In Portugal, driving naked is against the law. While cruising in minimal or no clothing may seem like an odd practice anywhere, Portugal has made it clear that such behavior is strictly forbidden. Under Portuguese road regulations, drivers and passengers must wear clothing that fully covers their private parts while on the road. This law has been in place since 1986, aimed at maintaining public safety and social norms. Critics argue it infringes on personal liberties, but authorities stand by the claim that driving without proper attire can be a major distraction for other road users, potentially causing accidents. The reasoning is that insufficiently dressed drivers might become self-conscious or act irrationally in awkward situations, raising the likelihood of dangerous incidents. High-profile cases, such as the 2018 incident where a man was fined for driving naked on a highway, have brought attention to this unusual regulation. Advocates for the rule argue that it preserves societal standards and promotes decency in public spaces. Regardless of whether you view it as practical or excessive, it's a law you're expected to follow while in Portugal. Do you think implementing a similar regulation would be effective in your country? Number 13, no kissing in elevators. You might think that kissing your loved one in an elevator is a sweet and romantic gesture, but not in Portugal. Kissing in an elevator is actually prohibited and could cost you up to €50 in fines. This law, which dates back to 1990, is intended to prevent indecent behavior and to ensure a comfortable and respectful environment for all elevator passengers. Since elevators are confined public spaces where many strangers gather, public displays of affection, like kissing, can make others feel uncomfortable or embarrassed. The regulation also has a basis in maintaining a respectful atmosphere in what are essentially shared public utilities. Imagine being in a small space with strangers sharing an overly intimate moment. This rule aims to avoid such awkward scenarios. Though the law may sound harsh, the focus is on ensuring respect in shared spaces. As with many social regulations, enforcement is flexible, depending on the situation. While a light peck may be tolerated, more intense displays of affection could land you in trouble. So, next time you're riding an elevator in Portugal, save those affectionate gestures for a more private setting. It's worth noting that this law reflects Portugal's cultural emphasis on maintaining proper decorum in public spaces, a common trait in many European countries. Number 12, no criticizing Ronaldo. Everyone knows Cristiano Ronaldo, but in Portugal, he's more than just a football player. He's a symbol of national pride. Criticizing Ronaldo or the Portuguese national football team is seen by many as a personal affront. Football holds a deep cultural significance in Portugal, and Ronaldo is a hero to many. Ronaldo's incredible achievements have put Portugal in the global spotlight, making him a source of inspiration and pride for the nation. Beyond his sportsmanship, Ronaldo is known for his philanthropy and his efforts to help underprivileged communities, further endearing him to the Portuguese people. The victory at the 2016 Euro Championship was not just a football win, but a moment of unity and national celebration for Portugal. His achievements have put Portugal in the global spotlight, and the 2016 Euro Championship victory only deepened his legendary status. As a traveler, it's wise to show appreciation for his talent and the pride he brings to his country. After all, who would want to insult a living legend? Even if you're not a football fan, acknowledging Ronaldo's influence on Portuguese culture and pride will definitely win you points with the locals. Number 11. Prohibited to say Portugal belongs to Spain. The names Portugal and Spain may sound similar, but never make the mistake of suggesting that Portugal belongs to Spain. This is not just a cultural taboo, but also a matter of national pride. Since medieval times, Portugal and Spain have had numerous conflicts, alliances, and moments of tension. Portugal declared its independence in 1139 and has cultivated a unique cultural identity distinct from Spain. The history between these two neighboring nations is complex. During certain periods, Spain did control Portugal, such as during the Iberian Union from 1580 to 1640. But this was far from a peaceful integration. The Portuguese fought hard to restore their sovereignty, and to this day, they take great pride in their independence. For the Portuguese, being considered a mere extension of Spain undermines their culture, history, and struggle for national identity. The prohibition against saying that Portugal belongs to Spain is partly rooted in efforts to maintain national identity. Such statements are not only factually incorrect, but can also be offensive to Portuguese citizens who are fiercely proud of their independence and cultural heritage. It's a simple but significant cultural sensitivity that tourists should respect. It's always good practice to learn about a country's historical background and honor its culture. After all, isn't that part of what makes travel so enriching? Number 10. No eating while walking. If you enjoy munching on a sandwich while strolling down the street, Portugal's cultural norms might catch you off guard. The Portuguese find eating while walking to be impolite, and some even consider it offensive. Meals in Portugal are seen as precious moments meant for relaxation, socialization, and fully enjoying the experience of well-prepared food. This cultural practice is part of their respect for food, which means savoring each bite in a seated setting, ideally shared with friends or family. The idea is that eating deserves one's full attention, and food should not be reduced to just fuel for the body, but rather a source of enjoyment. Eating while walking can be seen as disrespecting the culinary craft, which is highly valued in Portugal. Eating on the go is viewed as both disrespectful to the food itself and an inappropriate public behavior, contrasting with Portugal's deep-rooted culinary traditions. That said, street food stalls do exist, but people typically find a place to sit rather than eating while standing or walking. For travelers, this is a great opportunity to slow down, find a cozy cafe, and enjoy the vibrant flavors of Portugal's dishes while engaging with the culture around them. After all, slowing down to enjoy a good meal could be a wonderful way to live, don't you think? Number 9. No early lunch or dinner. Unlike many other parts of the world, in Portugal, you will find yourself sitting down for lunch around 1 to 3 p.m. and dinner as late as 10 p.m. Historically, Portugal's meal schedules are influenced by its seafaring past. Early sailors worked until later in the afternoon before eating, which pushed meals into later hours. Additionally, the mild Portuguese climate often encourages people to spend the cooler mornings and evenings outside, and this lifestyle encourages later dining. Culturally, lunch and dinner are seen as key social events. The Portuguese value the time spent eating as much as the meal itself. Lunch can last for hours, especially during weekends when families gather to share food, stories, and laughter. Restaurants often reflect this slower pace, providing meals at a leisurely pace to let diners enjoy the experience. In recent years, the influence of globalization and a faster-paced urban lifestyle has led some Portuguese to adopt earlier meal times. However, the tradition of dining late still holds a firm place in the cultural landscape of the country, particularly during social gatherings where meals extend into late-night conversations and laughter. For tourists, Adjusting to these later meal times may take some getting used to, but embracing it allows for a more authentic experience of the local culture. Number 8. No graffiti. Got a passion for street art? In Portugal, you'll want to keep it confined to legal avenues. Graffiti is considered an act of vandalism, and unauthorized graffiti artists can face fines of up to EUR 500. This law was implemented to preserve Portugal's cultural heritage, as graffiti can damage historic structures and degrade urban aesthetics. Portugal's cities are known for their historical buildings, many of which date back centuries. The goal of prohibiting unauthorized graffiti is to protect these culturally significant sites from damage and decay. The government has taken a proactive approach to curb illegal graffiti by designating legal spaces where artists can create murals and street art without fear of penalties. The government has, however, created legal alternatives. Festivals, designated public walls, and art classes are available for those who wish to express their creativity without damaging public property. These initiatives not only provide artists with an outlet, but also celebrate the creativity that can enrich public spaces in a controlled manner. By offering these options, the country encourages artists to continue developing their skills while protecting the public beauty of the cities. It's a great way to balance artistic expression with community respect. Number 7. Naming laws. Naming a child in Portugal is not a simple matter of parental choice. The country has specific naming laws to ensure that children's names align with Portuguese culture and language standards. The name must reflect the child's gender, be free of vulgar or offensive connotations, and conform to Portuguese naming traditions. Portugal's approach to naming laws is tied to the idea of cultural preservation. The regulations aim to maintain a consistent cultural and linguistic heritage, ensuring that names remain recognizable within the Portuguese context. For example, foreign names, symbols, and names that don't align with the Portuguese phonetic system are often not allowed, which ensures names are easily understood by all citizens. These laws are meant to preserve the cultural integrity of Portuguese society. Names should be easy to pronounce in Portuguese, and they cannot be symbols or nonsensical words. Though this might seem restrictive, the goal is to maintain cultural coherence, preventing names that may confuse or alienate people within the community. Parents wishing to name their child something unique or foreign may need to seek approval from the government to ensure it complies with regulations. Would you be comfortable choosing a name within these limitations, or do you feel personal choice should come first? Number 6. Almost no wildlife. For those who love nature, Portugal might not be the ideal place to explore wildlife. Due to habitat destruction from rapid population growth and economic development, Portugal has very few wild animal species. This country is not known for safaris or rich wildlife sightings, unlike its European neighbors. Many native animals, such as the European antelope, Iberian lynx, and wolves, have either disappeared or become critically endangered. The decline in wildlife populations can be attributed to urban expansion, agriculture, and industrial activities that have reduced natural habitats. The destruction of forested areas and wetlands has left many species with no place to live or breed. Additionally, the hunting of some species in the past has also contributed to their scarcity in the present day. However, recent conservation efforts are striving to reverse these trends. Several nature reserves and habitat restoration projects have been established to protect the country's biodiversity. environmental organizations are actively involved in reforestation projects, habitat protection, and wildlife conservation programs. Through these efforts, Portugal aims to recreate environments that once supported rich wildlife. If you're lucky, in some of these protected areas you might still catch a glimpse of the Portuguese wolf, or rare birds that make Portugal's ecosystems uniquely beautiful. Perhaps in the future, we will see a thriving ecosystem in Portugal once again. Number 5. Prohibition on carrying knives. In Portugal, carrying a knife in public is considered illegal, differing from other countries where knives are often associated with self-defense. This restriction stems from historical contexts, as knives were once viewed as tools of aggression. The regulation was introduced to reduce violence during Portugal's feudal era and continues today to ensure public safety and discourage altercations involving weapons. Professionals like chefs, farmers, or others whose jobs require knives are exempt from this law. However, ordinary citizens are strictly prohibited from carrying knives in public spaces. Knives may only be carried legally if they are necessary for specific purposes, such as work, fishing, or camping, and even then, individuals must comply with detailed regulations. Tourists should be especially cautious, as even a small knife in their possession could lead to fines or confiscation. It's advisable to keep any blades at home or pack them in checked luggage when traveling. This law highlights Portugal's commitment to maintaining public safety and fostering a peaceful environment. By limiting access to potential weapons, the country reduces risks in public areas, ensuring a safer atmosphere for everyone. Compared to other nations, these restrictions are notably stringent, and visitors should be mindful of them to avoid unintentional violations. Number 4, Portuguese is the official language of 9 countries. With Portugal's colonial past, it's no surprise that Portuguese is spoken far beyond its borders. Today, Portuguese is the official language of 9 countries, including Brazil, Angola, Mozambique, Guinea-Bissau, Cape Verde, São Tomé and Príncipe, East Timor, and Macau. This language unifies millions across continents, representing cultural bonds formed through centuries of shared history. Portuguese is one of the most spoken languages in the world, with over 250 million speakers globally. The Portuguese language has developed unique flavors in each of these countries. Brazilian Portuguese, for example, has its own distinct accent, vocabulary, and expressions that make it very different from European Portuguese. In Africa, countries like Angola and Mozambique have also adapted Portuguese to blend with local languages and cultures, creating rich linguistic diversity. While Portuguese in each of these countries has developed unique variations, influenced by local cultures and experiences. Brazil, in particular, is the largest Portuguese-speaking country, adding a lively rhythmic twist to the language. Portuguese is also an official language of several international organizations, which strengthens political and economic connections between these diverse countries. If you've ever traveled to Brazil or Angola, did you notice any differences in the Portuguese language compared to how it's spoken in Portugal? Number 3. Half of the New World once belonged to Portugal. Did you know that, at one time, half of the world outside Europe belonged to Portugal? According to the Treaty of Tordesillas signed in 1494, newly discovered lands were divided between Spain and Portugal, giving Portugal control over much of South America, including modern-day Brazil. This colonial expansion had a profound impact on global culture, leading to Portuguese becoming the official language of several countries around the world. The Treaty of Tordesillas was an agreement brokered by the Pope to prevent conflict between the two rising naval powers of the time, Spain and Portugal. The line of demarcation ran roughly through what is now South America, granting Portugal control over Brazil, while Spain took the rest of the continent. This division ultimately shaped the cultural and linguistic landscape of Latin America, with Portuguese remaining as the official language in Brazil to this day. Beyond South America, Portuguese explorers set sail to Africa, Asia, and even parts of Oceania, establishing colonies and trading posts. These voyages allowed Portugal to establish a global presence, influencing language, cuisine, and culture in numerous countries. The impact of Portuguese colonialism is still evident today in the form of language, architecture, and cultural traditions in many places around the globe. Number 2. Excellent wines. No list of things to love about Portugal would be complete without mentioning its wines. From the lush Douro Valley to the Alentejo Plains, Portugal is home to some of the world's finest wines. The Douro Valley, in particular, is famous for port wine, a fortified wine that has put Portuguese winemaking on the global map. Wine culture in Portugal is deeply embedded in the nation's history, with records of winemaking dating back to Roman times. The Douro Valley, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, is known for its breathtaking landscape of terraced vineyards that produce high-quality grapes for both port and table wines. Port wine, with varieties like tawny, ruby, and vintage, is known for its rich, complex flavors and is enjoyed worldwide. Beyond the Douro, other regions like Alentejo, Douro, and Vinho Verde offer distinct styles of red, white, and green wines that reflect the diversity of the Portuguese landscape. Alentejo is known for its full-bodied reds, while Douro produces elegant, high-acidity wines. Vinho Verde, meaning green wine, is a young wine that's crisp and refreshing, perfect for a hot summer's day. Wine isn't just a drink here, it's a tradition, a reflection of the care and craft passed down through generations. Whether it's the crisp, light wines perfect for a summer's day or the robust reds ideal for a winter evening, there's something for everyone to discover in Portugal's wine culture. If you visit Portugal, don't miss the opportunity to explore these wine regions and taste the passion in every glass. Number 1. Surfing paradise. Portugal is also a haven for surfing enthusiasts. With over 1,100 kilometers of coastline, Portugal's beaches offer powerful, consistent waves perfect for surfing, thanks to its location on the Atlantic Ocean. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced surfer, there are beaches to suit every skill level. Portugal's main attraction for surfers lies in its unique geographic position, which directly exposes it to the waves of the Atlantic Ocean. The country experiences consistent swells, with big wave surfing becoming a major draw for thrill seekers, especially in places like Nazaré. Nazaré is home to some of the largest waves in the world, with heights reaching over 100 feet, drawing surfers and spectators from across the globe for a chance to witness or ride these giant waves. Notable surfing destinations include Peniche, Ericeira, and Sagres. Peniche is often referred to as the surfing capital of Europe, while Ericeira offers stunning, year-round waves for all skill levels. Sagres, on the southern tip, presents both adventure and beauty for surfers seeking a rugged, less crowded spot. With the right conditions almost year-round, Portugal has become a must-visit destination for surfers worldwide. The surfing culture in Portugal is vibrant and welcoming, with numerous surf schools, camps, and rental shops available to help beginners get started and seasoned surfers sharpen their skills. So grab your surfboard and experience why Portugal is called a surfing paradise. These 16 laws and cultural peculiarities are just a glimpse of what makes Portugal such an interesting place to visit. By understanding these customs, you'll be able to better appreciate the country's culture, avoid awkward situations, and perhaps even feel a bit closer to the locals. If you're ready to continue exploring the wonders of the world, be sure to like this video, comment on the strangest law you've encountered, and subscribe to Travel Documentary for more fascinating insights into our planet's diverse cultures and customs. We'll see you in the next adventure.